And hello everyone, welcome to another iRacing video with myself, Babylon, and I hope you're all feeling really good today. Okay, this week we're at the Red Bull Ring. It's the national version of it, which is like a go-kart track almost. Yeah, there's a new track for us. I'll get this going. It's a rolling start. It's been a very eventful week. Yeah, okay, I'll get this going and I'll talk you through everything. So as I said, it's a rolling start. I'm in the green and white BMW M4 qualified P8.
Safety car in the left column.
As I said, it's the A1, or it used to be called A1 Hango, whatever it's called. It's now called the Red Bull Ring in Austria. It is the shorter national circuit, which in these cars seems a bit stupid. It's like 1.2 miles. It's like a go-kart track. It's just round and round in circles. As I said, a rolling start. I'm in the green car there. It's a mixed race event. So we got GT4 cars, which are Porsches, McLarens, and BMWs. And you've also got touring car. I forgot what they're called. Touring cars, which in iRacing, I think there's 4 of them. It's an Audi, Honda, a Kia, and something else. Nope, it's gone. It's a 30-minute race, rolling start, so approximately... I qualified 8th with a 1:55.3. Okay, we're coming around to the start now. So we go, go, go. I'll let this go a little bit and settle down, and then I'll explain what's happened this week. The guy in front of me, Christopher Suher, he's got like a Polish police or something. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like a police skin. I think that's really cool. So yeah, 30-minute race, 50, just under a minute a lap, 1.2 miles. So it's about 34 laps, I think, in total. Right. This week. This is my 3rd attempt at doing this race. Oh, no, technically 2nd attempt. I was going to do it Tuesday when I normally do the race. But I felt a bit crappy. And I just didn't have the energy or the oomph to do it. So I didn't do it. And then Wednesday I tried again, qualified P7, got an absolutely amazing start because I was on the accelerator before everyone else. By the end of the first straight, I was in first. But the guy that qualified in P1, he was shouting and raving at me afterwards. I don't know why, it wasn't my fault. He turned into corner 1 and basically went straight to the side of me. Now, I was on the racing line, I had the apex, I had the inside line, I was in front. So I'm sorry, dude, you were in the wrong. You should have given me space. He was calling me all sorts of names afterwards. And that's just... you know, there's a car there, give him space. So that was the end of that race on the first corner. I very nearly did it on the second race of last night. But I was a bit wound up for that. So, 2nd attempt, but 3rd attempt, whichever, is now tonight, which is a Thursday, if you're watching this. So, qualified P8. Pretty uneventful first couple of laps, but then we started getting some spinners. For a change, normally you get a good couple of cars going off, but it didn't. Well, I got swamped there by the 2 cars behind me. very aware that I've had a really crappy race once this week. I was also aware I was probably quicker than the guy in the police skin, but I was getting swamped from all over. The cars all around me now. So I gained 2 places with the 2 cars going off and then lost 2 places. The McLaren went for a dive. I didn't see him doing it, so I did hit him. I'm sorry, dude. That wasn't intentional. You just went for a dive and I wasn't expecting it. So I've now probably lost about 4 places there. Not good. I'm not sure what position I'm in. I was in 7th, but I'm nowhere near that now. I'm probably 12, 13, something like that. As I've mentioned a couple of times, it's the national version of this track, which is pretty much the start-finish straight, P1, and then you halfway down the back straight, you're going into a right-hander, which cuts out the whole technical... Or you're coming at the end of the technical section, which is about the only part of this track that's any good, because the rest of it's a bit like an oval, it's just round in circles. So that's the 2 corners we just done about the only technical part of the circuit. And then there's a 90 degree, a 90 degree, a 90 degree, and a 90... I'm not a fan of this circuit at the best of days, and I'm certainly not a fan of this shortened national circuit. It's also very, very hard to stay within the track limits. I accrued quite a lot of incident points in this race, 12 in fact. And I think 10 of those were going off track. And literally one wheel just touching the white line on some of the sharp corners. Although you will see something else happen later. I'm not totally innocent in this. A couple of cars going off in the background. I noticed in free practice there were people doing 52s and 53s. But I noticed then when I started following 1 or 2 of these guys, they were doing those times because they were completely and utterly cutting the corners. And in free practice, you don't get penalised. So, yeah, that's how they were doing these really quick times, is just by literally cutting the corners. Cheating, basically. And I noticed one guy was doing a whole practice session. And then I noticed that guy qualified like 2 seconds behind me. Which, yeah, the whole idea of practice, mate, is to learn the track, learn the limits. If you're going to cut the corners every corner just because you think it's great, you're not learning anything. Right, so I'm in P11. I can see the 11 on the side of my car in the back window. Now, the yellow McLaren that I nudged earlier as he came past me, I definitely felt I was quicker than him. At least through 90% of the track. However, as you will get to see in a moment, Sam Lowe, I'm not sure where he's from, but his netcode was not good. And he kept disappearing just like he did there. And when you're right on someone's arse, that's the last thing you want, is them to be disappearing. Because you haven't got a clue when they're going to reappear. Or where they're going to reappear. So there's once or twice I was going for an overtake on him and I had to pull off because he was flashing on and off all the time. I mean, I know it's multiplayer racing, but surely there must be a better way of iRacing doing things about that, because it was awful. Right, let me switch to a cockpit view so we can do a lap or 2 in that. So that is a 1.2 mile circuit, so not very long. 90 degree right-hander at the end of the straight. It's between second and third. If you're in second, it's a very short shift. You're in third immediately. So I was keeping it in third. You'll trail brake into this right-hander to come around into the technical section. dabbing the accelerator not to go too wide. A couple of times I was too early on the accelerator in practice. Of course, being a rear-wheel drive car, you end up just facing the wrong way. A little bit of a straight, then you got this sort of weird right-hander that you can't quite go... See, the guy in front went off track there because he went both wheels the other side of the red and white. You can take 2 wheels over, but you can't put all wheels over. And it's actually very hard not to. So we'll stick... said 50 seconds a lap, so we'll stick with another lap. Hard brake in. There's a sausage curb on the right and a sausage curb on the left. If you hit either of those, you're probably going to end up facing the wrong direction. Which happened plenty of time in practice. So you can see I'm sort of gaining on the guy in front through that first bit. It's corner 1 was my slowest. Not sure where I could gain time on that. The rest of the track I was pretty much even with everyone else. And yeah, that's it for half hour. It's not a track I like. I'll change a few of the camera views. Oh, the guy in the police car's gone off. That's a shame. See what I mean? I'm right on his arse and he's flashing on and off because of his netcode is shit. And that was really off-putting because I didn't want to push too hard because I didn't know where he was. I mean, literally, I'm a meter from his back end and he's disappearing. It's like, what am I supposed to do? I really don't know. I mean, that shouldn't be allowed. It should be a... I know there is a cap on the netcode and people do get kicked off for it. But that's just... I don't know. Now, the linear map that's above the relative timer in the bottom left there, with all the blue and yellow dots moving across it, that's like a relative position on the track, so I'm the yellow dot with a circle with a little yellow dot above it. And you can see the blue cars and the yellow cars are now mixed up quite heavily. And for the first time of doing this class, there was quite a lot of interaction with the slower cars. There's a couple of them just ahead of us. There's like a greenie. I think that's an Audi. So it wasn't a total boring race. There was some things to do. I just realised my speakers were on. I hope the sound's okay. For the last half hour, I'm not going to re-record it. I'll go listen afterwards. But yeah, I was thinking, hang on, I'm hearing stuff coming from my mic. I had my speakers blasting out. So you can see there, he was quite slow going for the last corner. I had to make an avoiding action to avoid him. I actually had to go off track, deliberately go do it. Otherwise I would have gone straight into the back of him. So I was getting a little frustrated behind the yellow McLaren because I knew if I could get past him, I could certainly pull away from him. And the fact he was flashing on and off all the time was really annoying to me. So I'm thinking to myself, I need to make a choice of when I'm going to attack this guy. The problem was there's not a massive amount of play, unless you can get a really good exit out the last corner, and then get a good toe coming down the straight. You can overtake on the first corner. Otherwise, there really isn't many places to do it. The guy behind me, the white BMW, I was very aware that, you know, in certain parts of the track, he was right on me. Through this little technical section, I could pull away from him. But then in the sort of rest of the circuit, he was catching back up. So yeah, a couple of off tracks. As the race went on, it was more and more frequent. Whether because I was pushing to try and get this guy, or my tyres were actually starting to fail, which they definitely were towards the last 5 minutes. I could really feel my tyres were knackered. So I've lost a second or two behind the yellow McLaren, so I'm now trying to catch him back up. Very aware the white BMW's behind me. We're also catching up on a couple of touring car, the slower car classes. So we've got traffic now to deal with as well. Hopefully they're good and get out of the way. So the orange car in the Honda Accord pulls straight over. Technically, they don't have to because they are racing. Although these guys are laps down because they're blue flagged. So they do have to get out of the way. There's another one now. There's an Audi. There's a Honda and an Audi. So there's another two cars still ahead of us. So that could give me a chance to catch up now with the yellow McLaren. Which I have done, but the white BMW is still with us. So the Honda's got out of the way, nice guy. Caught right up with the McLaren now. So he lost a bit of time there, but that first corner, I was very aware in practice and qualifying and doing the race that I was slow on that corner. I don't know why. I tried different things, and each time I tried a different thing, I was going off this track or hitting that sausage curb and spinning. So maybe it's a psychological thing. Maybe in my mind I was just being extra cautious. But certainly for the rest of the lap, I felt I was fast. Certainly than the yellow BMW McLaren. Certainly felt I was faster than him. The white BMW, he was probably faster than me. And you can also see there now I'm going quite a few off tracks. So coming down to the last 10 minutes, I could definitely feel my tyres were a bit weary. I'm also feeling a little bit of the pressure from the white BMW behind me. He did have a couple of chances to dive on me, and fair dues to him, respect to him, he didn't. if I'd saw him going for a dive, I would, I'm now experienced enough to know not to try and block him. But, well, without giving too much away, he didn't need to. Oh, I had to brake really hard there because the McLaren was really slow. That last corner, it's like a dab of a brake and then you just commit to it. And I had to get back on the brakes then because he was really slow going through that. Right, the Audi let him pass but didn't let me pass. So now I've got to get him. So I go through this technical section quite quickly. I've sort of got that corner sussed. So hopefully I get a good toe off him to get a slingshot down the straight. Yeah. Yeah, so I dive to the outside of him. My hope now is he slows down the BMW a little bit. Ooh, way off track there. See, he was way off track as well, and there. Now he's been getting points left, right and centre for doing that. And as I said, if you get 17 points, you're disqualified, so... It's very dodgy to do it. You can't do it too many times. So I ended up with 12 points at the end of the race. And I only had 2 collisions. So we're back to status quo. Trying to catch back up. 23 minutes, so about 7 minutes left. We've done 22 laps. I think about this time I got a 10-minute fuel warning. So I think I judged my fuel levels quite good as well. I put 12.7 gallons in, I think. And I got a red light on the very, very last lap. So that was, I think I was quite well. See, I'm way later. I think my tyres are just completely shagged by now. Now he's gone down the inside of me, but he either pulled out or I just got a better exit from that last corner, one of the two. I was also running low downforce, so that could have been a reason why, because maybe I have just more acceleration than he had. I looked at it as, you've got a few technical parts here, but these are all slow corners. Every single corner is a slow corner. So downforce has no real effect, so as far as I'm concerned, the way I thought about it, minimum downforce on this track. And if memory serves me right, even the full version of this track is minimum downforce, because it's all straights. So about 5 minutes left. Actually got that one proper this time. Yeah, you can see me, I'm leaving him slightly on the straight, so I'm definitely running lower downforce than he is, I think. But then he's much quicker into this first corner than I don't know what I'm doing wrong there. So, yes, we got a little bit of action. We've had a couple of back markers to go through. We've got another one coming up. But generally, it's just a bit of a procession. These sort of short tracks where there's nowhere to overtake, they all are. Say, not a fan of the track. Definitely not a fan of it. So even the full version I've never really liked. I like the back technical section, which we've missed half of it out on this version. But otherwise it's just a squirt, turn, squirt, turn. The yellow McLaren is still jumping in and out left, right and centre. So I've used the sling that has sorted the Kia or wherever he is between us. So hopefully that'll slow the BMW down a little bit. why he didn't... He must be running really higher downforce, because he should have been much quicker than that car, the BMW I'm talking about. He should have got him on that straight. Easy. Right, it's gone down the inside of this right-hander. So that's him back behind me again. I'm sort of catching back up with the McLaren. Half a second behind him. 3 minutes left, so probably about 4 or 5 laps. Now in the background there's a white Porsche. I think it's Kevin Nazario, if I've pronounced his name. If it's the one I'm thinking it is, he deserves to be banned for something, because he nearly took me off in the very last lap. And he's a blue flag, so he's at least 1 lap down, possibly even more. So he shouldn't even be racing with me, and he nearly took me off. I could be wrong, it might not be him, it was definitely a Porsche. So 2 minutes left. Probably, I'm going to say 4 laps maybe. The hardest thing now is just trying not to fall asleep, because this is just so boring. Sort of catching back up with the McLaren, but the BMW's also caught back up with me, which lets me know that he probably is slightly quicker than me. So less than a minute to the final sort of counter. And I was falling asleep. I broke way too late going into that corner. Missed my marker completely and just overshot it. So I've lost my position now to the the white BMW. And now I've got the idiot in the Porsche behind me. I've actually got 2 idiots in a Porsche behind me. One of them was definitely the guy he just shouldn't have been doing what he was doing. I'll let it happen so I can know which one it is. If you watched last week's video, I'm not a fan of Porsches. I think Porsches and Audis are only driven by dickheads. I'm probably going to get loads of comments for that, but there you go, that's my opinion. See, I had to cut that corner or not take the apex because he was on the inside. He shouldn't be there. He's a blue flag. So he shouldn't be interfering with me, and he was causing me to slow right down. I've now lost the white BMW, all because I'm trying to defend this guy behind me who I shouldn't really be defending against. So 30 minutes is up. I can't remember, probably 2 more laps maybe. Have a look when we cross the line to see if we get the white flag. I didn't see it, no, didn't see anything. Possibly another 2 laps. So I've lost my P9, I'm now back into P10. There is a couple of slower cars, but they're on the same lap. There's a white Porsche ahead of me. He's actually on the same lap, but he's definitely going slower. So he's possibly got damage. So I'm just about to catch him up now. See, all these Porsches are all going wide. And again, look, cutting the track left, right. I'm waiting for this guy to be disqualified. See, look, he's right on me. In fact, he went up the inside and caused me to swerve out because he actually touched my back end there. It's like, what is he doing? So it was the guy in the white Porsche, Kevin. Thanks, Kevin. You're a complete and utter. So time is up. Assuming this is going to be the last lap coming up. Couple more slower cars ahead of me. Let's see what they do. See, he's touched me again on that. What is he doing? Jesus, what just... Oh. So, sound of crashing ahead of me, didn't see what happened. They are touring cars, so I'm not that worried about it. I'm back up to P9. There's 2 cars between me and the white BMW. As I said, I think this is the last lap. Could be one more. Cars going slow all over the place. What the hell? Not seen any flags. I've now got a yellow Porsche behind me as well, who's also a lap down. And see, he's gone down the inside. It's like, what the hell? Jesus. Oh, gee, Christ almighty. Yeah, Kevin, you deserved that, because you were, as I said, you're a complete and utter. And Vincent, you're just as bloody bad as well. I'm really sorry. That made me really angry because they're a blue flag. They're a lap down. They shouldn't be interfering with my race. End of. And that's the end because I remember going over to the right there. So that's the end of the race, and I finished P9. Started P10. A little frustrating. It's been a frustrating week. I didn't like this track. I had to do it. Well, I wanted to do it. 1, because I wanted to do it, and 2, to bring you the video. But yeah, it's been a frustrating week, big time. Well, that's week 3 over from the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. Also, big thank you to my sponsors, Razorbacks Armour Community. Go check them out if you're into middle sims. And that's it for week 3. I'd like to thank you. If you enjoyed it, give us a like and subscribe.
Look out for the pit speed limit. The pit lane speed limit is 37 miles per hour.
Thanks, Jim. And yeah, thanks for watching, and please come back again next week.
Box in 270 meters.
Shut up, Jim. Okay, thank you, everyone. Bye for now.
100 meters. 50 meters.